Hey Greg,
Hey, Jason, how you doing?
doing
It's
good,
a
buddy.
wonderful Monday morning.
It is a beautiful Monday morning. And did you know that down here in the South, something I didn't know is that they get a lot of days off for Mardi Gras stuff. It's like a holiday here, so a lot of schools take it off, especially the
Really?
ones closer that are closer to New Orleans and stuff. And yeah, so we have even
Mardi Gras,
for Mardi Gras is like a holiday down
a
here in the South.
holiday.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so we have some family over and friends. So if you hear it in the background, we got people everywhere. But it's
Right
fun.
on. Well, that sounds like a good time, though, to
It is a
have
good
family and
time.
friends over.
How's things going with you?
Oh, we're doing good over here. I think today is a little brighter. At least it's not raining. So I'll
Nice.
take that.
That is a good deal. That is a good
It's not
deal.
raining. Yeah, I think my bones feel it more than anything. It's like, you feel halfway decent. You're like, oh, it can't be raining. I feel halfway decent today.
That's right. Well, that's one of the reasons I do like the South. I do like the warm weather. A lot of people here, they don't like it, but I love it. The hotter, the better. It makes my arms and elbows feel greased up and young again, that warm, hot weather.
You always did. Always like that warm weather.
I do. I do.
Yeah.
The other thing went on shopping today. I was out at the picking up some groceries and stuff. We're making some lunch and stuff for people. And
Right?
I was blown away. The prices have gotten so high. Can't believe it.
That's true. That
Yeah.
is true.
I went and
Um,
bought some bread, and that's the one thing that jumps out at me. Then I had to buy keto bread on top of that. My wife's diabetic, and we've been working on that issue and stuff. But that stuff's like running like 6, 7, $8 a loaf. How do people
and
afford
it's
it?
not even good. It's not even good bread.
Some
It's
people don't
like
think
it,
so.
it's no, I don't think so. It don't
I don't
taste like
know.
bread, because it's like they say it's good for you.
Uh,
But
I don't know
it's
if it's
not really
true.
that good. Well,
I
you
don't
know
know.
who else talking about bread? Who else
Who's that?
Jesus said that he was the bread of life.
I do. I do remember that. I do remember he said something on the lines of that that you gotta trust him to be the bread of life, the source of your life. And you know what happens to people who don't accept Jesus as the bread of life? They're
You
toast.
know? Literally.
The bread of life.
Help me, help me. Yeah, yeah, that's true. He did he
They're
did say,
toast.
I am the bread of life. And that started that whole controversy of them saying I am, um with the Pharisees and the Sadducees and them, is him claiming to be God. They did not like that. Because back in Exodus, it came from Exodus. Let's see here, Exodus 3:14, when Moses was on the mountain with God at the burning bush, and he was he was talking to God. He asked God. God told him to go down and get the Israelites, get them out. And
Right.
he said, "Who do I?" When they asked me who sent me, who do I tell them that you are? And God said, "I am who I am.
Right.
I
Yeah,
tell them,
that's true.
tell them I am sent you." So when Jesus was down, and he started his walk, or he started his ministry, I should say. He told him that he said, "I am," right there. Just those words alone claimed to be God, and was blasphemy to everybody.
Yeah, Jesus said a lot of stuff, and they never thought they needed to kill him. And he did a lot of stuff, and they
Right.
still were not, they were irritated, but they still weren't gonna kill him. But he did something that finally put him over the top where they're like, this dude's gotta die.
Right.
And most people wouldn't get it that like why are they so mad now? And because most people don't realize that when he was saying I am, the Jewish people heard their traditions and knew what he was
Right.
saying. He goes, because I am is associated with being the God of the
God.
universe.
That's right. That's right. He didn't have they didn't have a problem with the demons coming up against him in the synagogue. The demon possessed guy came up and he said, I know who you are. You are the Holy One of God. And Jesus said, shut up, come out of him. They didn't have a problem with that. You know, a leprosy come up and they don't, a leper, and you're not supposed, and those times that was, you can't touch these people. They'd throw rocks at them and everything else to try to get these people away from them. And he went up and hugged him and cleansed him. He told him, don't say nothing. And they sent him off and he told everybody,
Yeah.
he did,
Yeah,
but
but they got ticked off when when
when
they
he
were
said,
hearing that he was
yeah,
saying he was the same as God. He is God. When you see me, you see the very face of God.
right. That's right. They did not like that.
Mm-mm.
You
That
can heal people, you can cast demons out, you can eat on the Sabbath, but you
yeah,
you could pick a grain of rice, I guess. He was picking
yeah.
grains of rice at
I
one
think they
time.
just wanted to put him in jail or kind of get him to slow down when he was healing on the Sabbath, because that made him pretty mad too.
Yeah,
But the killing ideas, I think, started coming in when he said, I am.
that's
Name is
true.
God. That's when it was
Because
time for him to go.
it was in, and I'm looking here. It was in John 6:35. He said, Jesus said to them, I am the bread of life. Whosoever comes to me shall not hunger, and whosoever believes in me shall never thirst.
Powerful
Now, what do you
scripture.
get off of that? What do you get off of that?
Well, I think what I get is that if you believe that um, Jesus is the sacrificial death, it'll turn you into a purebred. That's a terrible joke. You want to be a purebred?
That's terrible.
I don't know where that came
Purebred.
from. Oh my gosh.
Right?
Um,
Because we're going to hunger down here and we're going to thirst down here
yeah.
because we're in our mortal bodies. We're here on earth, and that's just the way things are here.
Yeah.
So I think myself, you're never going to hunger. I think you was talking about another time, or it could be spiritual. You're not going to hunger for anything more because he is the fulfilling of everything. I
Yeah.
think that sounds better to me.
I love it. I think that there, even people don't realize that there's a hunger in them to be right with God the Father. And if you want to be fulfill that hunger and have that hunger satisfied for being spiritually right, you got to eat the right bread. And the right bread is the bread of
Right.
life. It's Jesus. And otherwise,
Right.
you're never going to be satisfied.
That's right. And he also said that he said, so the Jews grumbled about this, and he said, I am the bread that came down from heaven. So he was claiming to be manna
Yeah, that
that, that
that
kept
I
people alive.
I heard that, like, when you think about the manna that came down and then it was shared amongst the people, the bread, and then you got that story of the loaves and fishes. That when you think about
Right.
the whole bread issue too, in Jesus being bread, it's you're supposed to also get kind of the idea that it's a food that is supposed to be a shared experience. So as you eat the bread of life, bread in the Bible has many, many stories. Like, it got shared from there. So those of
Right.
us who have eaten of the bread of life, who have believed that He is that, we're supposed to share it.
That's true. That's true. I wonder back in the Exodus when they were coming out, when they got that manna, I wonder if they ever made any banana bread.
Oh, Oh my God. You know, I love that we tell good jokes, but I just have to say our bread jokes are a little stale.
Oh, fillet of manna. Yeah, you know. So yeah, the bread of life. And and that's why I bring this up real fast, I guess. Probably another whole podcast on everything. That's why we do communion, and we take communion with
Oh,
our 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 constituents, our people, our friends, when we're at church, is to remember that He is the bread of life,
yeah.
and that's we do that in remembrance of Him throughout the time.
Yeah, I think about that so much that like no matter what I went through in life or where I went and different stuff, and I get mad at God where things are not going good, or you're upset, or even if you're like we've talked in the past about uh drifting, or just having a tough times. I think if you've really eaten that bread of life, though, nothing else satisfies. I had no
I
other
think
place
that's
to
true.
go, so I could never really get away from God because I had no place to go. Once you've eaten of that, the bread of life, I just I had no other answers, and a lot of people like come to me with their troubles and different stuff. I'm like, I have nothing else to offer you except for this bread. This is all I got because this
Right.
is all I got for me. I have no place else to go. I might have tried to look a little here, a little there, but nothing else satisfies.
But it is satisfying, though. It is once you
Do
get in,
the bread of
once you get
life.
into Jesus. Yes, yeah.
Oh,
Once you get
right.
into Jesus and start reading about Him, and you get closer to Him in your with Him,
Yeah,
you rely on that, and
that's
that
good.
and it says that in Exodus, it says that God put in each of our hearts. He put in each of our hearts an understanding that we want to be closer to Him, and in everybody's heart, we want to know Him. We want to reach out. That's why I think so many people are are searching. They got Eastern religions, and they got Western religion. They got you can probably have a religion on everything you want anymore.
Yeah.
Dirty swim trunks. You can probably get a religion out of that if you wanted to. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
there's probably somebody on the beach going, "Yeah, that's me right there."
That's my
But
religion.
yeah, that's my religion. Yeah, but
Um,
I think that He put that in our hearts to know, to try to push forward. It's a longing that we
yeah.
need.
And you had mentioned the bread of life and the where he started talking in John about all the different like the set what did you say, seven different I ams right there in
There
the
is 7 different I ams in the book of
and
John.
so I think it's hard to know what God's like. And I think he gives kind of these word pictures, to help you kind of understand this great, big, huge God. He kind of bringing it down into
Right?
something that you can have some bite size more. uh, but like he is the bread of life. You can kind of start to understand that if you think about bread, what it's like. It satisfies you. It's something to be shared. It's life sustaining. It's I think it's a merciful God that gives you word pictures and ideas, and the whole Bible is just him trying to give you ways to try to understand this
Right.
huge God that we're going to be amazed with for all eternity. Yet we're still trying to get to know him a little bit down here. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they let's see here. I got this other one here. It says that John 6:51. I am the living bread that came down from heaven. If anyone eats of this bread, he will live forever. And the bread that I give for the life of the world is my flesh. So, now if I remember right, after this, they started saying that he's a cannibal. He
We've talked
wants
about this
everybody to eat
before.
his
Whenever we
flesh.
watch a movie,
Yeah, I know.
we watch a zombie movie, we're always like,
Right.
yeah. It's like old men who tell the same story over and over and over. And I think every time you and I watch the zombie movie, we're like, before we get started, and we're like, do you ever hear that? Those people who
Yeah,
thought
you ever hear
that
that?
Jesus is calling everybody to be cannibals and they're really offended. And I'd be like, yeah, I have heard that. How many times do you think we do? Probably, how many zombie movies have we watched? We probably said that like a million times. Yeah, I've heard
Right.
that they thought he was advocating eating
Yeah,
human
advocating
flesh.
human flesh. That's right. Because they just didn't get it.
No.
They just didn't get it.
No,
Yeah.
and that's symbolism and all that kind of stuff. It's not. I think doesn't like the original, like the Catholics before their what's that big meeting that they had where they made some changes. But I think before that, didn't they used to try to teach that once as it was going down, it actually came the flesh of
Right,
Christ or
right,
something as you
right. It
died.
actually
I think that,
becomes
but that was not what it was ever meant to be. I
right.
don't
It's
think.
yeah, the Eucharist, I think it is. But yeah,
Um,
they're still advocating that.
crazy.
Trust me.
Hey, I know you're coming over really soon, and I found a zombie movie that
Yes.
we're gonna watch together. So I got it saved on the TV. I'll let you know about it after this. Um, did I tell you though? I watched a documentary on how bread was made.
Really?
I did. I thought it was crummy. Oh no.
Oh, oh, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Thank you. I'll be here till Thursday.
Oh, damn. But it don't bump.
Those are some terrible jokes. That's one of the nice things about doing a podcast in a distant land and stuff. You can't stab me or hit me when I tell those terrible jokes.
That's true. That's true. Good thing when I sitting on those little zappers, your buddy has the clicker, and you're like, nah, oh, that's how you go.
We'll make you pay.
Make you pay for that one.
All right. Well, I'm
But
gonna get
yeah,
on back to my guest and hang out
okay.
unless you got any other things about it that you want to share about the bread of life, because that was kind of
Oh,
encouraging to
I
me.
want to say, people out there, Jesus is the bread of life.
Yeah,
Once you
good.
have this bread, once you eat of what He can give you, you'll never want for anything else,
No.
and He'll keep you right there next to Him. And He's proven that with me, and I know He's proven that with Jason. He's proven that with several of my friends out there, that once you come to Him, He won't let you go, that you can trust Him. So
That's so
you guys
good.
take care out there.
So
and I'll
good.
see you in a couple of weeks down there, huh? But we'll see each other again.
Yeah,
We got more coming up.
Yeah, we got some more. We'll talk to you soon, my friend. You're the best.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye, bud.